I got mad at myself for not understanding it.
When we worked at night with her, we would find a very frustrated little girl.
On my tests, I would usually get a 70.
We were shooting blind. We're not teachers.
I needed extra help.
That's when we brought her to Sylvan.
Her confidence level has changed tremendously.
Now I get hundreds.
She comes home and feels, I can give it a shot, I can give it a try, and I will.
For better grades tomorrow, call your nearby Sylvan Learning Center today at 1-800-EDUCATE. 1-800-EDUCATE.
Oh, I love Sylvan.
I knew I could get it, but I just didn't know how.
And you can't understand it for him.
You try tutors, you try friends.
That's when I asked his teacher about Sylvan.
Sylvan is a great partner for a teacher to have. Sylvan gave Cindy the boost she needed. I made honor roll.
I get all A's.
I felt like I could do anything.
Anything that can give a student an extra boost makes me happy.
As a mother and an educator, I could not do what Sylvan did.
Get started today by calling your local Sylvan Learning Center. Check your white pages for the center nearest you.
What's the worst four-letter word your child can say?
Can't. I can't add that.
I can't read.
I can't learn.
Here at Sylvan, we believe the children can do anything that they put their minds to.
The first thing we do at Sylvan is figure out what's holding the child back.
And we can actually determine what skill gaps they have. And when you give them back the skills that they've missed, you give them back their self-esteem.
I can't becomes I can. That's the Sylvan difference.
Sylvan Learning Center. For better grades, call 1-800-843-1036.
This program is brought to you in part by Sylvan Learning Center.
School was a nightmare.
I mean, math was just probably the hardest subject. I would have to read everything over and over again.
Grades were so bad, they took me off the team.
I got all frantic-y.
I was always
I
behind.
thought I was pretty dumb.
That's why I called Sylvan.
Sylvan was the answer.
I love it.
It all came together at Sylvan.
Now I get A's, straight A's.
I'm back on the team.
I know I can do it.
Sylvan was worth every penny.
I think I'm a pretty smart kid.
Call now to inquire about our ACT, SAT guarantee. Call 441-READ. That's 441-READ.
I'm so excited about school, and I'll keep on wanting to go. I never want to miss one day of school because I'm so excited about my grades that I just gotta break them.
At Sylvan Learning Center, success isn't just how well a student does, but how good a student feels.
People used to joke about how dumb I was, and now everybody's like, you better listen to him because he's pretty smart.
Call Sylvan Learning Center. Find out how we assess each student's learning skills and how we personalize programs to help them catch up or get ahead.
I've always been pretty good in math, so I started going to this accelerated program at Sylvan, and now I'm like this total math whiz. It's weird.
8 out of 10 Sylvan students improve their math or reading skills by 1 full grade level in only 5 months. To help your child succeed, call Sylvan Learning Center today at 1-800-EDUCATE. Success is learned.
This is the story of a boy who just didn't get math. I mean, he wasn't stupid or anything. There was like a wall there.
At Sylvan Learning Center, we solve academic problems by precisely identifying the cause. That's why we start with the Sylvan Skills Assessment before we design a personalized program.
Once there was a girl who had trouble reading. She used to pretend to be invisible. That way the teacher would never call on her.
Call Sylvan today and find out how our skills assessment can give a comprehensive profile of your child's strengths and weaknesses. We'll identify skill gaps, then create a program to help your child fill in those gaps. Because our assessment so clearly uncovers your child's learning issues, we guarantee results.
Her story has a happy ending. I like happy endings.
If your child is struggling in school, call Sylvan at 1-800-554-1541 to schedule an assessment. Success is learned.
Every night we have to write reports and read all these chapters, and it used to take me forever. Then I couldn't remember what I read to answer the questions, and I hated it.
Sometimes homework problems are really reading problems. This is the kind of hidden problem that Sylvan Learning Center can uncover and correct.
Homework doesn't throw me off now. Everything's coming together.
We start with our Sylvan Skills Assessment to determine where a student needs help. Then we personalize a program for each child.
Sometimes I'd study for a test and I was sure I knew everything and I was gonna ace the test. But then I'd get to class and see the questions and just blank out. I'd forget everything and totally choke.
The Sylvan Study Skills program teaches time management, test taking, and organization skills that help students do their best.
Now it's great because I know how to study, I remember stuff, and I can prove that I know what I know.
Sylvan Learning Center uses certified teachers and offers flexible payment options. So if your child needs help in school, call 1-800-EDUCATE. Success is learned.
We always thought Kristen had trouble taking tests because she'd get so nervous. And then we found out that the real issue was her reading comprehension.
At Sylvan Learning Center, we correct academic problems by precisely identifying the cause. That's why we start with the Sylvan Skills Assessment before we design a personalized program.
Algebra was the worst for me. I couldn't do it and I felt so lost all the time. But it turns out I couldn't do it because I was bad at percentages.
Call Sylvan. Our skills assessment gives a comprehensive profile of your child's strengths and weaknesses. It identifies skill gaps and is the blueprint for the program that will fill in those gaps. Because our assessment so clearly uncovers your child's learning issues, Sylvan is able to guarantee results for your child.
I worked on my percentages so now algebra's no big deal.
If your child is struggling in school, or even if you just suspect a problem, a Sylvan Skills Assessment will pinpoint the cause and offer a solution. Call 1-800-EDUCATE now to schedule an assessment.
Janie, time to eat. Janie, dinner.
Okay, Mom. Just one more page?
Okay.
This moment brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center.
I didn't like reading. Then they showed me it was fun.
We call our approach the Sylvan Advantage. It's a proven process that works. We begin by identifying your child's specific needs, followed by individual attention and personalized lesson plans from highly trained and certified teachers who just love teaching, and progress reports for you every step of the way. If your child is struggling or just not being challenged enough, call 1-800-EDUCATE.
Now I read just because I want to.
Call this number today. The skills to do better in school, the confidence to do better in everything else. Sylvan. Learning feels good.
Hey, Mom. Hey, sweetie. How was school today?
Oh, I got my test back.
How'd you do?
Here.
This moment brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center.
I studied hard, but I freeze on tests. Sylvan helped me change that.
We call our approach the Sylvan Advantage. It's a proven process that works. We begin by identifying your child's specific needs, followed by individual attention and personalized lesson plans from highly trained and certified teachers who just love teaching, and progress reports for you every step of the way. If your child is struggling or just not being challenged enough, call 1-888-48-EDUCATE.
I have a lot more confidence now.
Call this number today. The skills to do better in school, the confidence to do better in everything else. Sylvan. Learning feels good.